Man United is pursuing Victor Osimhen in the summer of 2025. What exactly will it take for United to land him? And is he the player who is going to finally solve the so many problems that Man United has to endure currently? Welcome to the United of Sport. My name is Webb again. Like, share, and subscribe. And let's get proper into this. So there is a new report, new updates that suggest that Man United are seriously pursuing a striker in the summer. Of course, talk before was of Victor Gyökeres, but now it looks like United are taking action when it comes to Victor Osimhen, because according to the latest reports, they even sent scouts recently to do follow him and monitor him and see whether exactly is the right fit for Ruben Amorim in the summer. These are reports that have just come in now. Like I keep saying, with Man United, you hear a report from sources that sort of make sense. Certainly, you cannot write them off. Now, even Benny McCarthy came out in an interview recently, and he spoke about the so many players Man United were interested in before they zeroed down on some of the signings that were made for Erik ten Hag in the last summer. He said Harry Kane was the top priority for them, for Ten Hag, but the finances, perhaps the financials were not possible for them because he was quite expensive. United needed to cough perhaps in excess of 100 million pounds, but they thought investing 72 million quid in a younger player in Rasmus Højlund would make sense. But the same Benny McCarthy spoke of other players United were monitoring, including Victor Osimhen himself. He was on the list for Man United in terms of strikers that he confirmed. But they zeroed down on Rasmus Højlund, who eventually has not really made sense, made an impact, or at least not yet. But let's get proper to Victor Osimhen. Now, first of all, is Victor Osimhen a solution? Yes, he is a solution. To which problem? To the lack of goals at Man United, because clearly the strikers that Man United has are not scoring enough goals. Of course, partly because they're not getting as many chances, that's one. But also, even the few chances they get, or even try to create for themselves, are not really clear. They don't produce anything with them. They don't really show that they are almost there. So even if the chances are not enough, and again, that is another problem to talk about. The goal scoring or the lack of a proper striker is still there. It does not. The fact that not enough chances are created, I think, does not erase the fact that there is a need for better strikers. So there is a problem they would solve. The things though is Victor Osimhen's price tag, because the guy is scoring goals for fun. He has so far now scored 24 goals and goal made 24 goal contributions. That's goals and assists in the last 24 games for Galatasaray. Beautiful stuff. He's a top player. We know that. I keep saying it, that I feel Osimhen is built for the English Premier League. And I feel like he's even hungry now and waiting for the right opportunity for him to join an English Premier League club. We know before, I've told you of a story here where a Nigeria journalist came out and told us how Osimhen was waiting on United. He wants to join Man United and stuff. So he's hungry to join the Premier League, and that hunger for a striker like him would certainly serve him good, and it would really benefit Man United if he joined them. But the thing is, here's the thing. The price tag of Osimhen is currently at about 75 million euros. Perhaps it would go slightly lower. It could go slightly lower in the summer. But even if Man United were to raise that money through sale of players, because United is in a proper sell to buy situation, even if United were to raise that kind of money and buy him, would it be a smart investment? Would it be taking us anywhere, or would we be still going around the same circle? And I know, guys, Man United still needs senior players in this team. We cannot just talk about rebuilding and rely on the young players. That's clear. That's logic. If you know think about football, that's the logical thing. But investing 75 million euros in Victor Osimhen at a time like this, when you've got so many problems, which make it look like United actually need to be overhauling the entire squad, would we be wise to buy a 75 million euros striker without a wing back, without another central midfielder, without proper defenders, without proper attacking players? We've got to sign at least 5 players for Man United to come and look, a semblance of a an Amorim team, and that is if signing new players in the direction you've chosen to take. So my view is, I think that would be wastage and poor use of resources. With the young players like Chido Obi Martin coming up and now knocking onto the door of the senior team, and I've heard reports and claims that Chido Obi has caught the attention of everyone at Man United in the senior team because of his humility. So he's such a humble boy, good character, which is, I think, everything that Man United are trying to look out for in players currently, considering how bad they have been getting it in terms of player attitude and character in the past with the past signings. So my view is that the signing you want to make? Is Man United at a level where you can buy a 75 million euros player? Would that be really a club in a proper rebuilding phase? Or wouldn't you rather distribute that money to buy 2 or 3 players in 20 million pounds players like Dogwa and the likes in other positions, excuse me, and build them up into whoever you want, the players they can become? For me, I think it's a bit debatable there, because the thing is, if you sign a player like Victor Osimhen, then you're raising the expectations of the fans that perhaps you're ready and your aim is to compete for titles like immediately. And whereas, I mean, our emotions will tell us that Man United every season should be competing for titles. I think reality tells us that Man United should forget about competing for the big titles for about 2 seasons as we properly concentrate on rebuilding, staying stable and growing and improving in everything consistently. So for me, yes, Victor Osimhen is a good striker, and of course there are people who will now go into the debate of whether if you have that kind of money, you should go for him or for Victor Gyökeres, because I mean they would both come. They would both come in in the summer. They would both come in at the same fee. If Osimhen's current value is about 75 million euros, it's perhaps the same. For the same, you can get Gyökeres in the summer, and people will now debate about whether it's Gyökeres or Osimhen. Ideally, of course, better the devil you know than the enemy you don't. Certainly, Gyökeres for me would make better sense for Amorim, if Amorim is the coach, because he worked with him before in his same system. But away from that, for me, I'm not for Man United going out in the summer and spending any big sums on a number 9. Not before they have sorted the central midfield department, the wing back departments, a bit of creativity, more creativity. There are better. There are other. If there is money to spend, there are other departments to spend it on. Because for the striker, you can still have hope in Chido. There is time for you to develop Chido, but with a central midfielder, which is a role that needs a big name, rather a mature player, that is where you can want to spend a bit of money. So for me, that's my honest opinion. But let me know what you think. Drop down in the comment section and let me know what you think, whether you're excited by the idea that Man United could get Victor Osimhen, and whether you think he should be the first priority of a signing for Man United. Should they make any little money that can be available for Amorim to spend and sign players? Subscribe, like, and share, and let me know in the comment section. Cheers.